You're unfit to run this company. Marriage, stability, discipline, you have none.
I built your last quarter. Don't confuse dependence with authority.
Come on. 10 more seconds.
1 week, Leon. Get married or lose the board.
That's it. Got you.
You lost, Miss Parker?
I'm press, covering the gala.
And now you're trespassing.
So sue me.
Phone. Cute reflex.
You don't scare me.
You should be scared of timing.
Delete it yourself. Prove every rumor right.
Should I call legal? No. How desperate are you, Ivy?
Desperate enough to publish.
Or desperate enough to make a deal?
What kind of deal?
Marry me.
No. Try blackmail like a normal billionaire.
I don't need romance. I need optics.
And I need a brain transplant for staying here.
1 week. My grandfather wants a wife. The board wants stability.
So marry a model. Or your ego.
Your father's factory is 30 days from collapse.
You dug into my family?
I vet liabilities. Your father's debt ties back to one of my supply lenders.
That's impossible.
Bank called again. They may freeze payroll.
Dad, I'll handle it.
Delete the video. Marry me. I save the factory.
And after you win?
We walk away clean.
Nothing clean starts like this.
Best leverage you'll ever have.
If I find out you're tied to what happened to my father...
Then use my last name to burn me down.
Wait, 90 days?
Every deadline needs a number.
You're not getting married. You're renting a wife. Did she trap him? Love or leverage, Ivy?
My wife doesn't owe strangers a confession.
She was on the private floor. Was there a video?
There was a proposal.
Bold lie.
Stay smiling.
Well, that's one way to recycle a scandal. Congratulations, Mrs. Grant. Thank you. I think. You wear panic beautifully. Blindsided? I didn't think he'd marry his PR problem. Funny. I thought rich women preferred subtle cruelty. Were you pregnant? Is that why the rush?
We're done.
Don't touch me like that unless cameras are on.
Then keep track of where the cameras are.
You enjoyed that.
I enjoyed surviving it.
Pull everything. School, old stories, old mistakes. Let's see how long the fake bride lasts. She's the reporter?
Dinner in 7 minutes. The family dislikes waiting.
Good. I don't like audititions.
It's not an audition.
Feels like execution with chandeliers.
So, you're the girl who changed my grandson's mind in a week.
People change fast under pressure, sir.
And what changed in you?
My schedule.
Do you love him?
I respect what marriage demands.
That is not what I asked.
I'm not naive enough to insult you with a fairy tale.
She learns fast.
Fast isn't always useful.
Was that dinner or cross-examination?
In this house, every sentence becomes evidence.
And every silence?
Confession.
If she's only a prop, remove her quickly.
Remove me?
Sold for $200,000.
Oh, wow. The new Mrs. Grant is all the way back there. I assumed you'd prefer somewhere less intimidating or easier to crop out of the photos. You're catching on.
A symbol of legacy.
For old promises. This room is eating her alive. Some things can't be bought overnight. You mean class? Or access? I mean belonging. 250. 300.
1 million.
My wife doesn't compete for scraps.
You spent $1 million on a sentence.
Worth it.
Tell me something, husband. Who profits when a factory bleeds out?
Don't shut that line down!
Dad, why didn't you tell me it was this bad?
Telling you doesn't make payroll appear. Miss Ivy, they cut our unit price 3 times,
3 times in 2 months?
then delayed payment.
Who signed the revisions?
Different departments, same group.
Grant Industrial Procurement.
Don't go to war with people like that.
They already started one. No way.
What?
Leon Grant.
She went to the factory. She found the old contracts. Should we stop her?
Don't. If she's going to hate me, let it be for the whole truth.
Tonight, he answers. Why is your name on my father's collapse? Say it. Why did you sign this?
I approve the chain, not the scheme.
That line works only on lawyers.
The procurement line was compromised before I took control.
And after you took control?
I was containing a board revolt.
So my father's factory became collateral?
That is not what I wanted.
But it's what you allowed.
If you keep pulling this thread, you won't just hit me.
Good.
You'll wake the board. And they don't kiss scandals goodnight.
You're warning me like you care.
Chaos doesn't distinguish guilt.
Then maybe it's time somebody did.
Ivy,
What?
I'm not innocent.
This isn't a love story. It's extortion with lipstick. The public deserves ethics, not seduction disguised.
She really rehearsed that.
Mrs. Grant, car's waiting.
I'm not hiding behind his PR team.
Then don't. Watch.
They dragged my father into this?
Your father's workers are already being harassed.
So what, I smile next to Leon and pretend I'm fine?
No. You survived long enough to hit back.
I can defend myself.
You tried. They're eating you alive.
And whose world taught them to?
Live interview. Tonight, with me.
So I get publicly skinned in HD?
You're better on offense.
5 minutes. Change of host.
Nina Russell.
If she wants blood, she'd better choke on mine.
Tonight, a billionaire, his sudden bride, and the scandal that won't die. Did you ever intend to report the truth or just marry into it?
She reported before she met me.
So this is love?
This is marriage.
What about this supplier death connected to your group?
That story was resolved.
Resolved? A man jumped off a building after losing his contract. You're asking the wrong question. Oh? The question isn't whether one executive regrets one tragedy. It's why a board was allowed to bury multiple supplier crises as operating noise. Are you accusing the board? If you want accountability, start where the power actually sits.
My company will reopen every supplier case from the last 5 years.
This isn't over. It finally started.
You were good. Better than I expected.
I know.
Is this marriage fake?
Did you sign a deal? Was she planted to fix your image? No comment. Business or love, Leon?
Back off.
Then prove it!
You wanted proof. There's your answer.
What the hell was that?
Ending the story.
You don't get to use me like that.
I just did.
It meant nothing. Then why can't I stop replaying it?
Ivy, tomorrow my grandfather wants us in the same bed on camera.
Can we get them closer in bed?
If you smirk, I'm elbowing you.
Try it. Grandpa loves chemistry.
Perfect. More intimate. Like you actually sleep together.
We don't.
She's shy on set.
What do you admire most about each other? He never panics where people can see it.
And you? She stays standing after most people would break.
Again, less performance, more truth.
He knows exactly how this world works.
And she still thinks it can be better.
That was good. You read him too easily.
Or not enough.
Do you love my grandson?
Does the answer change my value here?
It changes your danger. So tell me, are you truly in love or just very good at pretending? So how much does Leon tell his wife?
You must hear fascinating things at breakfast.
We mostly fight over coffee temperature.
And board strategy?
I'm still learning which fork means war.
Mrs. Grant is media. She understands leverage.
And some people understand hiding behind polite questions.
A marriage is useful when it stabilizes a man.
Or expose who was unstable around him all along.
His cousin is willing. Sophia can handle the press side.
Who's there?
Relax, I was stealing your good champagne.
You shouldn't have taken that risk.
Funny. Thank you usually come shorter.
Why are you helping me?
Maybe I'm tired of being used by people who think I'm too small to notice. This isn't random press. It's coordinated. 3 outlets, same framing, same phrase order, same source packet.
Can you prove that?
I don't need to prove it. I need you to stop acting surprised.
Who's feeding them?
Board adjacently finance editors. One used to consult for Sophia's fund.
You built this overnight?
I sleep badly when rich people lie.
We also found pressure on shareholder sentiment.
This isn't just reputation damage, it's pre-short positioning.
Say that again?
Your ex isn't just bitter. She's betting against your company.
She's shorting us?
And wrapping it in heartbreak for the cameras?
You just earned deeper access.
Access is sexy. Trust would be hotter. Wait. She's been shorting your company since before our wedding. She didn't react to the marriage. She planned it.
A woman calling for truth once drove a source to attempt suicide.
No.
It's everywhere. Who released this?
You know who.
Should someone with that history be trusted again?
She waited until I got useful.
Legal, defamation package, immediate injunction.
No.
She's dragging your trauma through live television.
And you think a billionaire gag ordering helps me?
It stops the bleeding.
I pushed too hard once. Someone almost died. That's exactly why I don't let rich people edit my truth.
A courier left this for Miss Parker. Who is it?
The source. The one from that case.
You didn't ruin my life alone. They used both of us.
I thought you hated me.
I did. Then I learned who paid to amplify the story.
Who?
A crisis vendor. Same shell chain tied to Sophia's media team. Smear, panic, stock movement, same blueprint.
This connects her to narrative manipulation.
Not just that. Board money, outside capital, her fund in the middle.
She's not the jealous ex.
She's the bridge. You trust him?
I trust what I can verify.
If you publish this, they'll come for anyone near you.
They already did.
Warhouse caught fire! We can't find him!
Dad? Dad! Dad!
Ma'am, you cannot go in!
He's in there!
Ivy!
If he dies...
He won't. I'm sealing the site now. Max, private security. Nobody touches the debris.
We found him by the side office!
Dad, stay with me.
Go with him.
And the fire?
I'll keep what they wanted burned.
You didn't have to come.
Yes, I did.
Because I'm your wife on paper?
Accelerant near the rear entrance. This was arson.
Don't trust Leon. His family already knew. I begged them. They said your factory was disposable.
Who said that?
Group people. Procurement. Risk.
And Leon?
His name was on the approvals.
Let's skip the elegant half-truths tonight.
I knew there was pressure on small suppliers.
How long?
Before I met you.
And you still used my father's collapse to make me marry you.
I offered a solution.
You offered a leash.
I was trying to keep control long enough to fix it.
And until then, people like my father just bleed quietly? I almost believed you were different.
Risk assessment?
Your father's stable. I moved him to a better room.
Money really is your native language.
You're angry. Fine. Don't punish your father for it.
I'm not punishing him. I'm trying to understand you.
That may take longer than a hallway argument.
Of course. You lock everything that matters.
Some things were weaponized long before you touched them.
Stop talking like a riddle. Did you read the report?
Yes.
And?
I didn't order the collapse.
But you didn't stop it either. Looks like she's right on schedule. This time I'm the one asking the questions. You were never his wife. You were his strategy. You forged it? I never forge what men already confess in writing.
He needed a wife who could survive cameras. So he picked a reporter.
He almost picked me once. Better pedigree, better fit, less conscience. Then why are you mad? Sounds like you declined the job. No, darling. I was replaced by improvisation. Read page 4. He knew about my father before the proposal and still used it. Desperate daughters sign faster.
Did you fall for him? That's not your win. No, this is.
A marriage for image, a wife on lease. Go home, Ivy, if you still know where that is. The fairy tale is over. Were you paid to play wife? Did you blackmail him with the video? Was the kiss fake too?
This way, ma'am. I said I'll handle the board.
Handle me first.
Where did you get this?
That's your first question? Did you know about my father before you proposed? Wow.
Yes, but...
No. No but. You let me think I had one bargaining chip. Turns out I was the chip.
I was trying to keep the company long enough to fix what they broke.
Every time it's me or power, you look at power first.
People are outside the hospital, too.
Ivy, don't do this like this.
You started it like this. Congratulations, Leon. Your wife just expired. No more wife. Back to work. Hello, old life.
Ivy, don't fight alone.
I'm not alone. I'm just not married anymore.
Mr. Grant is downstairs.
Then he can enjoy the stairs.
He wants to explain.
No, he wants timing.
Ivy, open the door.
Say it through the wood. It's the most honest thing between us right now.
You're building a case. You'll need internal access.
You don't get to buy your way back in.
Grant Group Media Open Day. Want your press badge back?
Send it.
Cut her loose or lose the board.
She is radioactive.
Then stop hugging it for attention.
State your name and what you saw the night of the fire.
I saw a woman's assistant leave before the smoke started.
Whose assistant?
Sophia Bill's. I've seen her in gala photos.
The market hates uncertainty, Leon. Then you should hate the people creating it.
You married a scandal and called it strategy.
And some of you funded the scandal and called it governance.
Board money was routed through an outside fund.
Name. Sophia's fund sits in the middle.
Anonymous package for you.
The vote moves, stock drops, Leon cracks. Everyone wins.
Make sure his wife keeps the cameras busy.
This could bury them. Or me.
This just became a war.
I used you.
Congratulations. You found honesty.
You built all this alone?
That's what Betrayal does. It clears your schedule.
I have Sophia on tape, and board members with her.
And what do you want in return?
Nothing. I used your father's crisis as leverage. I told myself I'd fix it later.
That later was my family's life.
I know.
No. You know now because it finally cost you something.
I tried to push supplier reform 2 years ago. My grandfather killed it. The board buried it. I stayed.
So you compromised.
Yes.
I did fall for you. That doesn't make what you did smaller. Tomorrow I'm going.
Then who are you going as?
The one you should have respected from day one. I'm Ivy Parker, Investigative Press.
You really want to run this under your own name?
If I hide now, they win twice.
What's in it?
Supplier abuse, media manipulation, arson cover-up, marriage fraud optics.
If you go public with internal audit, you lose the conservative bloc. And if I don't, you may keep control. At what cost?
Someone wants to buy your story.
Meaning kill it.
They said name your price.
Tell them truth got expensive.
How expensive?
More than they can afford. Mrs. Grant, or should I say former contract wife? Call me Ivy Parker. Then ask your question. My question is for the company. How many suppliers were forced into collapse under predatory pricing? And how many media narratives were bought to hide it? Are you accusing the board of coordinated manipulation? I'm accusing everyone who made profit look cleaner than blood.
This is not a courtroom.
No, it's worse. It's where you built one and never called it that.
She's emotional. She was personally involved.
Yes, I was. I was also the woman this company turned into a marriage prop to buy credibility. Leon Grant knew enough to stop some of this. He chose power first.
Sit down.
She's telling the truth. And I'm done hiding from it.
Leon, enough!
No, not enough.
You will destroy this family.
No. I'm destroying the lie holding it up.
This is confidential!
So was the suffering. You realize this may cost you control of the company.
I know.
Walk this back, and I can still save you.
You never wanted to save me. You wanted me obedient. I used my marriage as strategy. I stayed silent when people got hurt. I told myself I'd fix it later. That was cowardice, not leadership.
Delete the offshore trails. All of them. Now.
She's running.
Move the money. Burn the trail. You always did prefer elegant exits. Ivy, you look good when you're self-righteous.
Accounts are freezing now.
You think this is about jealousy? No, it's about profit, panic, and arson.
That proves nothing.
I saw your assistant at the warehouse.
Careful.
Keep his wife busy. Let the stock do the rest.
You didn't just want Leon back. You wanted entry, governance, leverage, control. Of course I did. Love is a waiting room. Position is the real room. You think I'm the villain? I just played the rules your grandfather wrote. He signed off on rot long before I monetized it.
You think morality builds empires?
You knew about the pricing, about the board.
Of course I knew. We cut weak links. We protect scale. That is how families like ours survive.
By choosing whose families get to die first?
You mistake sentiment for structure.
And you mistake cruelty for efficiency.
The marriage deadline. Was that about me or optics?
Both. A controllable wife would have been cleaner.
Sorry to disappoint your monarchy.
You were close to becoming exactly what this company needs.
No. I was close to becoming you.
Voting starts in minutes. And before that, I want her to speak. Absurd. 10 minutes. Change the room if you can. Ms. Ivy Parker has 10 minutes.
I was supposed to be a wife on a deadline. Turns out I was standing inside a business model. This factory made real goods for real families. It was squeezed by pricing, delayed by payment, buried by paperwork, then almost erased by fire. You were sold a romance. You were sold a scandal. You were sold me. But the real product was silence. He used me. I won't erase that. He also stood here and told the truth when it could cost him everything. Revenge is easy. Reform is harder. Open supplier contracts, independent audit, whistleblower protection, media disclosure. I am not asking you to save a love story. I'm asking whether your profit can survive daylight. Voting will now begin.
Leon, are you proposing?
I built our marriage like a deadline. I was wrong. You were never a prop. I just wasn't honest enough to deserve you. I can't ask you to forget what I did. But I can ask for the chance to do one thing right. Ivy Parker, will you change the deadline?
No, not like this. You don't get forever with a speech. You earn it. In daylight, repeatedly. Start with honesty.
Then answer something real!
Yeah, first question. When did you fall in love with me?
Probably the first time you were brave enough to hate me to my face. And I'd like the rest of my life to answer the follow-up.